What up? What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Monday, NBA Talk with Jay. We got a bunch of games here, a bunch of like funky games, a bunch of big spreads, man. But I'm gonna talk about it. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to the show, my guys. Me personally, coming off a tough weekend, man. So I'm glad that Monday is here. I'm ready to get some cash. I'm ready to smack the books up all week long. See what I'm saying? Let's try to get straight to it in this one, my guys. It's all business on the show. If you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, man. First game up, let's head over here to the streets of Cleveland. This one, Cavs laying 4 at the house versus the Houston Rockets in this particular game. I'll tell you right now, there's only one game that I bet today, and it is the next one, so we'll talk about that. But got the Cavs here laying 4 versus the Rockets. Rockets obviously on the road. They're 2-9 on the road. There are 16-6-1 against the spread, but on the road 6-5 against the spread, 2-9 straight up. Obviously, for them to cover this game, they basically need to win it. They've lost 4 out of the last 5 versus Cleveland as well. The Cavs are also 6-1 against the spread last 7 versus Houston. Obviously, those were some different years. Those were like mostly last year's numbers. They hadn't faced off this season. So obviously we know that the Rockets are a different team this year. Cavs missing Garland. They're missing Mobley. They will be out without them for a while as well. They did just smack up the Hawks. This is back-to-back home games for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Excuse me. It's still back-to-back home games for the Cavs here. I mean, I don't know what to do with this game. The Rockets coming in here off a back-to-back. This is third game in 4 nights for the Rockets, plus back-to-back as well, all on the road before they head back to the house. I'd like to lean towards the Cavs, even though they're not at full strength. I do think they have some matchup advantages here. You're basically going to have to try to put Dylan Brooks on Donovan Mitchell here because Van Fleet will get cooked by him, and they still have the size advantage down low with Jared Allen. Remember, Allen can take over any game with his defense, even though they don't have Mobley down there. Allen is like he's going to tower over Şengün down low, in my opinion there. So last game, Allen went for 25 points, 14 rebounds. He could have another big game like that tonight. You see what I'm saying? That just Şengün is just not now offensively. Şengün could give him some problems, but just as I don't have much on this game. I could see it going either way. I'm not really here to waste your time, my guys. So nothing for me on this Cavs Rockets game. I don't have a good look on it, guys, to be perfectly honest with you. I could sit here and talk all day, give you stats, all that, but I know that you're here for the plays, and it's not something that I have one on. But let's go over to the streets of Philly in this one. We got the Sixers laying 10.5 at the house versus the Bulls. Don't necessarily like that the Bulls have been playing so many games. This is their 3rd straight road game, but it's not a back-to-back. This is 5th game in 8 days for both teams here. But I did rock with the Bulls in this one. I'm going with the Bulls. This is one of those teams where if you kind of notice them playing a lot better, two things here. Bulls playing a lot better. They're 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games, 5-3 straight up as well. They played the Heat really tight. Even though the Heat, they had just beat them, still almost beat them twice in a row. That shows signs of a good team because usually, especially when you're on the road versus a good, like at least an okay team like the Heat, they'll come in there and beat you down with revenge. If it wasn't for Jimmy Butler hitting that game-winning shot, Bulls probably would have beat them again. They did go 2-0 against the spread as well, but that's the Bulls side, and it's like sneakily they're playing a lot better than where they were earlier in the season. Let's go over to this Philly side. Philly's been balling. They've won 6 straight games. They're 5-0 against the spread last 5. Who the fuck have they played? Who have the Sixers played? Now, I know that you only play who's in front of you, but still, I feel like when this line came out, I said it's going to be shaded towards Philly for them being on this win streak, for them playing so well. So they beat the Washington Wizards. They beat the Atlanta Hawks. They beat the Wizards again. They beat the Pistons twice in that span as well. And then they beat the Charlotte Hornets. So they've been smoking teams. They've been winning by like 20, 30 points. They're number 1 in net rate in the NBA. But sometimes you got to look at who they beat. They've been beating the sorriest teams in the NBA, in my opinion, my guys. Now, that Lakers game that they beat, that was November 27th, 138-94. That was a good win, you could say right there. They have beat the Thunder. So the Sixers are still balling. I'm not discrediting what they've been doing. But over the last 5 games, they've faced over the last 6 games, they've faced some of the worst teams in the NBA a couple of times as well. 2 of those games were versus the Wizards, 2 of those games versus the Pistons as well. So in this particular spot, I'm taking the Bulls. I'm taking the double digits in this one. Wouldn't be a bit surprised if they shocked the world and beat this Sixers team outright. But 10.5 points is just too many for me to pass up here. Nothing's a lock. I'm not telling you that it's 100% guaranteed. And if you don't like the spot, you don't have to take it. This is just the best spot that I I saw for me on the board intuitionally. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if that's a word, but this is what I feel is right within my soul, my guys. So I'm noticing the patterns. I'm being calculated. I'm trusting my gut. See what I'm saying? I won't have any regrets on this particular play, my guys. So give me the Bulls plus a 10.5, plus a 10, whatever. Whether Embiid plays or not, I don't really care. I mean, way I'm looking at it last night, I'm expecting him to play. You see what I'm saying? So I did take Bulls plus 11. I like them plus 9.5. And then he went through shooting rounds, come up to 10.5. So I thought I was gonna have to go official with the 9.5. Give me the plus 10.5, my guys. I'll take the double digits with the Bulls in this particular spot every single time, my guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Indiana in this one. Pacers getting 3 points at the house versus the Clippers. I could sit and talk about this game right now all I want. It doesn't matter. We need to know if Halliburton's playing. Halliburton is half of the team for the Clippers. You see what I'm saying? Clippers were a little fat and happy at the house as well. They're coming off a 4-game homestand at the house. They just played 6 of their last 7 games at the house. They went 7-0 straight up in that span, and 5-2 against the spread, my guys. Usually what I would like to do in this particular spot, I'd like to fade the West Coast team going. I know it's kind of like Midwest, but still playing earlier games, still getting out of the friendly confines of their own arena. If Hallie plays, damn, but shit, it's not a good spot for the Pacers as well. They've played 8 of their last 9 games on the road, my guys. They're coming off a 6-game road trip. This is one of those games where it gives conflicting things for me, but I know one thing for sure. I can't even look towards back in the Pacers without Halliburton. He's half the team. He's all of the pace for the team. He's the quarterback. Like, picture when the Patriots were in their prime and they had Tom Brady. Picture taking the Patriots without Tom Brady. You see what I'm saying? In his prime. That's what you'd be looking at, like even looking towards the Pacers' way without Tyrese Halliburton. Even though they're off a 6-game homestand, they are still coming off 3 straight losses, and the Clippers are a little bit of an older team. Personally, I feel like if Halliburton was in, I'd lean towards Pacers in the first quarter. We know Paul George came back last game, and he started his career in Indiana, so we know they're going to win the ball. But just pace-wise, I do think the Pacers could have an advantage in this one if they get Halliburton back. They are off 3 straight losses. They are going to be pissed as well. Obviously, they're looking for a bounce-back spot here. So this is a tough game for me. Clippers been hot. They've been ready. They've been balling at the house in their friendly confines of their home arena, in their home bed, all that good stuff. Now, you got them heading on the road for the first time in a while. Really conflicting things going on with this game, but like I said, it doesn't even matter if Tyrese Halliburton didn't play. If he doesn't play, you can only look towards Clippers. If he plays, I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers came out hungry in this one, covered the first quarter, possibly even won the game outright, to be honest with you. But it's just one of those games where you need to wait for Hallie. But some of these players, it's like, oh, it doesn't really matter. It's a team game. You need 5 guys, all that. Well, Hallie's like 75. I'm not even going to say half. He's 75% of the team. So you need to see if he's playing before you make a play on this game, my guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Miami in this one. Heat getting a 1.5 at the house versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Heat are not the same team this year. I'll tell you that right now. The Timberwolves have been balling. They're sitting at number 1 in the West. It doesn't matter if the Heat were playing good or not. Like even last year, the Timberwolves have been cleaning them up. 4-1 straight up last 5 games. They're 8-2 straight up in their last 10 games versus the Miami Heat, my guys. 6-3-1 against the spread as well over that span. They're balling once again. 8-1 straight up last 9 games for the Wolves in this one. I believe it is. So do they have a game tomorrow? One of these teams have a game tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. No, neither one of them have a game tomorrow. But the Wolves got Sixers on deck. Heat have the Magic on deck in this one, man. So this is their 4th straight home game. They do get Bam Adebayo back in this one. They get Tyler Hero back in this one as well. But we know how it is when you haven't played for a while. They'll be good in first quarter, first half. Now, Hero will probably run out of gas in the 4th quarter, just not used to game condition. And Bam Adebayo has been out for, I think, like 4 or 5 games, so it's not that bad. But these 2 guys could still possibly run out of gas here in the second half, in my opinion. That's just what we've shown. When you're not in game form, you can go out there and play. You're ready to play, but you get winded because you're not used to run up and down the court, even though you've been practicing all that good stuff. Game is a little bit different here. I'd lean the Wolves here, minus the 1.5. This line was like at -3 yesterday for the Wolves. And when they saw somebody, they got them questionable, but they've been playing. I hate when they do this shit. So McDaniels and Anthony Edwards are questionable in this game, and you can see the line start to dip down. I don't think it's fair. I think these guys have been playing. I think that the Wolves know that they're playing. They're just putting them on the injury report. I think it's like the most corrupt shit ever. But I mean, I'm not going to even get started on that. I guess what I'm saying is you should expect Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels to play. That's what you should expect. They, like I said, when they've come off a couple games that they played, why would they sit this one out? But they are listing them questionable. They're probably going to do it every game for the near future. But personally, I expect them to play. I'd lean towards the Wolves minus the 1.5 to get this job done. The Heat, for whatever reason, aren't a strong home team. They're 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. It's like they can win close games or they can win games versus inferior opponents like the Charlotte Hornets. See what I'm saying? They beat the Raptors in Toronto. They beat the Pacers one of those games, but it's just the Heat just aren't a super strong team, and they know that they don't need to be at their best right now as well. So Hero and Adebayo helps, but with them being out for a while, could possibly see them running out of gas. If the Wolves like went down 5 or 10 in this game, I definitely look for a spot to live bet the Wolves like in the third or fourth quarter. They have a top tier defense. It's going to be really hard for the Heat to score. It's going to be hard for both teams to score because the Heat's defense isn't bad either. But I'd lean to the Wolves to win this game, and it could be a live betting spot if the Heat come out hot, get a 5, 7, 10-point lead. I think it's a good spot to look towards the Wolves live in this one, my guys. Hawks land 12 at the house versus the Pistons. I'm only talking about this game so I could go through every game. I want no parts of neither one of these teams. The Hawks have absolutely owned the Pistons. They've won 5 straight versus the Pistons. They've covered 4 straight versus the Pistons. Both of these teams are absolute ass. Neither one of them play defense. I could never even look towards the Detroit Pistons way, but I also can't lay 12 with the Hawks in this one, the way that they play defense, my guys. And the number might get even bigger because Capella, Bogdanovich, and somebody else sat last game. It was Capella, Bogdanovich, and someone else, and they're all questionable for this game. Let me just see real quick. So it's Capella, Bogdanovich. I guess some of those are the main ones, but I guess DeAndre Hunter is still questionable as well. So if they go in, the spread might get even bigger. If you've been fading the Pistons every game, you've been getting absolutely rich. I mean, so can't talk you off just fading the Pistons, but really hard to lay double digits with the Atlanta Hawks. They got something going on over there, my guys. Let's go over here to the streets of OKC in this one. Thunder laying 10.5 at the house versus the Memphis Grizzlies in this game, my guys. Grizzlies get Ja Morant back in the next game. So this is the first game of a back-to-back as well. First game of a back-to-back. Grizzlies, this is their 25th game. So it means Ja is eligible to play tomorrow versus the Pelicans. That is a division game as well. Grizzlies have lost 4 straight, 0-4 against the spread as well. Thunder coming off a huge game, though, in my opinion. They're coming off a game-winning shot. Usually, I'd like to find a spot to fade teams like that. They're coming off a game winner. It was a huge game. They beat the Nuggets by 1 in Denver. It's just a huge spot. I don't feel comfortable about laying 10.5 with the Thunder in this one. Not saying that they can't get it done, but I do think that it could possibly be a little bit of a letdown. But on the other side, we don't know how the Grizzlies gonna look at it. Are they super happy to get back Ja Morant and just gonna punt this game away? We don't know. You see what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I gotta answer. Hello? I mean, not hello, but sorry guys, I had to answer that. I had to answer that phone call right there. But Grizzlies, I actually lean Grizzlies plus a 10.5. But I mean, I don't know. The Thunder are playing well right now. It's really hard to it's really hard. The bookies calling me. Now the bookies not calling me. My guy says Grizzlies won't get off the bus. No D Rose in this one. Yeah, no, this one ain't about D Rose because he's really old as hell right now, to be honest with you. It's all about my guy, I did say hello. I thought I was on the phone again, man. But my guy said he likes Thunder first quarter, first half. Yeah, I don't have a good look for this game. The Thunder are definitely the much better team. Grizzlies can still play some defense. I always say this: the Grizzlies, if you're looking towards the Grizzlies, it's all about Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. It's all it's about. If those two are having a good game, they can stay in any game, especially with a double-digit point spread. They have guys over there. Zaire Williamson coming off the bench, got Roddy. See what I'm saying? Bismack Biyombo can play some good defense as well. It's not going to give you much offense, but it's just a really tough game. This game is all about will the Thunder have a letdown, in my opinion. It's either the Thunder are kind of fat and sassy off that huge game-winning shot for SGA in Denver. Now they come back to the house laying double digits as well. But like I also say, the Grizzlies, So when you're getting Ja Morant back soon, you still want to play well. You still don't want to be too far away because they can still make the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? So you have all the motivation in the world to keep this close, my guys. So it's just a tough spot for the Thunder, but also the Grizzlies. We don't know how they're thinking. Are they just like, oh, we just don't care about this game? Let's try to ball tomorrow in New Orleans with our guy back. But I don't know. It's just a tough game, man. The Grizzlies, they were playing well for a while, and then they started to drop off. But they did play 4 tough teams. They played the Wolves, they played the Mavs, and then the Rockets been balling out as well. Obviously, one of those games they played without Bane. Then he came back. They were in their game. They were down by 1, I believe, and then Dylan Brooks hit a huge 3, and then he basically ended the game. So personally, I kind of lean towards the Thunder having a letdown game here, but it's just a game that I don't really have huge feel for. Obviously, the Thunder could win by 4 or 5, and they're perfectly fine. I just feel like the 10.5 means that Thunder have to be up by 20 points. Like they have to absolutely blow out the Grizzlies, and it's very possible. But coming off that big game winner versus the Nuggets, that was a huge game right there. It was a huge game. You look at the Grizzlies, and then you look at their record, it's just not that big of a game. So Thunder come to ball all the time, but personally, I don't feel comfortable laying the 10.5. I'd lean towards the Grizzlies, but I'm not betting the game. I know for a fact I'm not betting the game. I'll only have one play today. I know for sure. Let's get over here to the streets of Denver in this one. Nuggets land 7.5 at the house. They're 10-2 at the house, my guys. Denver usually bounces back at the house. They're obviously coming off their loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder, a game, basically a game-winning shot by SGA in that one. We know that they're pissed. Now the Mavs here. Mavs have been balling, been trying to pick and choose spots they're not gonna come to play. They do have revenge. They lost earlier this season, November 3rd, 125-114 in Denver. Let me see if they had Kyrie in that one. So they had Lively and they had Kyrie in that one. Kyrie went for 22 points. Lively didn't have a good game. He only had 4 points and 4 rebounds, and then only played 25 minutes. Now we know how the Mavs are without Lively. You can get to the paint a lot easier with them. So I'm expecting Aaron Gordon. I'm expecting Jokic to have a really good game in this game, my guys. The point spread is a little high. I'd possibly go with Nuggets in the first quarter in this one. We know that they're a really good first quarter team. We know that they're pissed as well. Not sure if KCP is back in this one. He's had a concussion. Somebody let me know what y'all think about if y'all see KCP in this one for this one. My guy says Nuggets cover, Nuggets -7. I do think this is a spot. I do think this is a spot for the Nuggets to bounce back, and I think it'll come early. I think Nuggets in the first quarter, and possibly full game is what Nuggets could come out here and cover the trifecta spot. I think the Mavs been a little too hot lately. They've been getting a little too lucky. Another team that's been beating up on some bad teams. You look at their 5 of their last 6 wins. They beat the Jazz, they beat the Blazers twice, they beat the Grizzlies, they beat the Lakers in a horrible spot for the Lakers, and then they got smoked by the Minnesota Timberwolves in this one. You see what I'm saying? So I think without Lively, we've seen this, that you can get to the paint really easily. Powell, it's just not the same. And shit, who the other backup center would be Rashawn Holmes. I think Maxi Kleber is still out as well, my guys. So personally, I think this is a nugget spot. I think they come out here in the first quarter and the full game and smack these Mavs up. That's what I think, especially with no Lively in this one. Even though they already beat them in this interior revenge spot, shit, the Mavs got a better record than the Nuggets as well. So the Nuggets should be like, all right, let's get. First off, they always pissed when they're coming off a home loss as well, my guys. They usually bounce back in this particular spot, and they head out on a road trip after this game as well. I think this is a Nuggets type of game in this one. It just got too much paint advantage down low, and no one to guard Jokic. Jokic is going to cook in this one. And if Aaron Gordon wants to, he can get to the basket and get those dunks every single time if he wants. They got Murray back. I think whether KCP plays or not, this is a Nuggets type of game. I'm only looking towards Nuggets. I think first quarter is a good spot, and I think the full game would be a good spot as well. And this is the second game that I had like the best feeling about, in my opinion, my guys. Next game up, let's go over to the streets of Utah in this one. Jazz getting 4 at the house versus the Nets. Nets on a long West Coast road trip. I believe this might be their last game. They've won 3 straight versus the Jazz in this one. They have dropped 4 out of 5 in Utah for whatever reason. Their last 4 out of 5 games have been in Utah, not went well for them. Some teams just really lose their superpowers when they go to Utah, but this is their 5th straight road game. But they're only 1-3 so far on this road trip here. I think the Nets might get it done in this one, man. The Jazz aren't a good team. I know that they play well at the house and they can surprise some teams, but they're not a good team. The Nets don't really have a ton of size down low. They pretty much just got Claxton down there. Like, I don't really like seeing Dorian Finney-Smith at the 5. That's just me, my opinion. He's not like a real center or whatever. He's more like, when he played on the Mavs, he was like a fucking, like a small forward. And now the Nets, they got him at the 5 and shit, man. But this would be a nice spot for the Nets if they had Ben Simmons. But Jazz have been traveling all over the place. They had 2 games on the road, Memphis, Minnesota. They come home 1 game for versus the Blazers. Then they go back to Dallas. Then they come home versus the Clippers. Then they go on the road versus OKC. Then they come home versus the Knicks. Then 2 more road games, and then now back at the house. I don't like how much the Jazz have been traveling. They play a lot better at the house, but with the Nets, this one's all about them being pissed. If they come in this game like saying, all right, we got to at least get 2 wins on this road trip, they can do it. They have the much better perimeter defenders as well. Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, you know what I'm saying? Dinwiddie could possibly go crazy in this one. I actually think the Nets is not a good, it's not a hard, it's not too bad of a look in this particular game. I heavily lean towards the Nets in this one, and maybe even first half as well, because they possibly could run out of gas in the second half. But I think the Nets, if they want to salvage this road trip and at least go 2-3, because you don't want to go 1-4 on the West Coast road trip. That's horrible there. You see what I'm saying? I know that they're playing these late night games. I know they're playing in altitude. They're coming off a tough loss versus the Golden State Warriors as well. I think the Nets could get it done here. Probably first half is a better look than the full game, but I'm thinking about it even more. The Nets first half is a really good look, in my opinion, man. It's a really good look. You just hope they don't run out of gas in the second half for the full game. But I think Nets first half and full game isn't a bad look here. What are you guys liking in the chat? Jazz always play well at home. Laurie Markkinen going crazy tonight. Chappie Fun like Nets first quarter. That's a good look there. That's a really good look. Yeah, Cam Thomas is back and balling and not passing the ball. You're right, man. Triple double for Jokic and Nuggets money line. Fade the Jazz anyway. Let me see here. Nothing for me for this game. If you made me toes, I'd lean the points. Yeah, I actually think the Nets first quarter, first half is not a bad look here. That's not a bad look. If they come out pissed off, they should come out there and they can come out here and smoke the Jazz, in my opinion, man. They definitely have the advantage in the perimeter. They just don't have the advantage down low against guys like Laurie Markkinen and Walker Kessler. But they are talking about possibly trading Laurie Markkinen. So we wonder if that's going to start to get in his head. Couple more games here, guys. Go over here to the streets of Sacramento here. Kings land 12.5 at the house versus the Washington Wizards in this one. Wizards played a really tough game last night. They could possibly like never even get off the bus in this one, guys. When you see a team play so hard versus a really good opponent, or I mean, the Suns aren't really good right now, but they had a double-digit lead in that game. Like, I'm talking about all the way to the fourth quarter. They had a double-digit lead versus Suns, and then that game went down to the wire. They ended up losing it. So if they kind of ran out of gas last night, the Kings are not the type of team that you want to play on the back-to-back. This is how I'd look at the game. I don't know about laying all these damn points with the Kings, even though they can smash the Wizards, do whatever they want. I think the Kings can come in here and put up 140 points versus these guys if they want. Like first quarter, this could be a trifecta spot for the Kings on the team total. That's how I'm thinking about it last night. Obviously, this game, the team total is high as shit, but let me see here. So first half team total for the Kings here. Let me see, just waiting for it to pull up. First half team total for the Kings is 64, my guys. So, and it should be like 32 for the first quarter. So 33 points in the first quarter for the Kings. I think that first half team total over 64. And even though I don't really play those full games, it's like heavy as shit. 128, it's like 130 team total for the Kings. But I do think they can run it. I think they can do whatever the hell they want versus this Wizards defense here. The Kings, the way that they run a gun, just not the type of team that you want to be playing on a back-to-back. They can run your ass off the floor. See what I'm saying? So if the Wizards don't try to slow this game down and try to run and gun with them like they usually do, they'll get smoked in this game. They're going to run out of gas. The Kings already have matchup advantage in this one. I think Fox sat out the last game. You definitely need to know if he's going to play, guys. This is another one. Y'all know how they play with us, man. Yeah, Fox is questionable. You need Fox in there for sure. You hope that he doesn't take another game off because they know that they can win this game without him. So this is another one. I can't suggest you taking the Kings team total unless Fox is in there. But Wizards, second game here on the West Coast. Of a 4-game West Coast road trip. Remember, they're an East Coast team. They're playing these late night games. This is a sleepy spot. You need Fox in there, my guys. But if Fox is in there, I'd be looking towards Kings trifecta on the team total spot. First quarter, first half, and full game over their team total. You need him in there. Simple. It's really that simple. You need him in there. He's like 50. He's kind of like Halliburton. Remember, they were on the same team, but different teams now. He's still more than 50% of the team, my guys. Last game up, let's go over here to the streets of LA in this one. Lakers laying 4.5 at the house versus the Knicks in this one, guys. Knicks just come off a game where they got absolutely smoked versus the LA Clippers in that one. They did beat the Lakers the last time they faced them, but that was last year, though. They were 2-2 versus each other last year. I could see this game going either way. Lakers coming home off a 3-game road trip. Coming off a game where they just gifted to the Spurs. I wish it was their first one, but 0-3 against the spread last three. The Lakers actually hadn't been to the house in a while. I don't know if they went home briefly before they went to Dallas because they had 2 days off. Remember, they were in Vegas. They were in Vegas for the New Orleans game and for the Pacers game as well. So that was since the 7th. I don't know if they went home or they went straight to Dallas. Some told me that they probably went to the house maybe for a day, but I don't know. They could have went straight from Dallas. I'd have to do some research on this. So possibly may not have been at the house since like December 6th. You see what I'm saying? So that could be interesting here. Knicks, this is their 7th road game out of their last 8 games. They played 6 out of the last 7 on the road. They're coming off a game where they got absolutely smoked. So in theory, this is a bounce back game for the Knicks. The way that they play hard, play defense, you know what I'm saying? They got Brunson, got Randall. It's a really tough game. The Knicks can match up well with the Lakers in this one, my guys, to be honest with you. I'd actually lean towards Knicks plus 4.5, but it's a really tough game. I can see it going either way. I don't bet games like this where it's like both teams are really in bounce back spots. Both teams have matchup advantages versus each other because without Mitchell Robinson down there, Anthony Davis actually has an advantage down there going up against Hardenstein and Jericho Sims. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Davis, like against Mitchell Robinson, he'll give him a little bit of run for his money. But hey, this is a game that's all on AD. If he dominates here, the Lakers could look well. I don't think this was one on the perimeter guys because the Knicks perimeter guys cancel this one out, man. But I don't want to waste your time on this game. I don't really have a strong feel for this one. In this one, my guys. Let me get out of here. The only game that I have, there's a few games that I have strong feel for. I did take the Bulls here, plus the points, my guys. With plus 11, plus 9.5, whatever. I like the Bulls to keep this game close, possibly even shock the world and win this game outright. But for the show, give me Bulls plus 10.5. I do lean towards the Wolves in the I do lean towards Wolves minus 1.5. Keep an eye if they get down. I think it'd be a really good spot because I think Hero and Bam Adebayo can run out of gas late in this game. Heavily lean. I do lean towards the Nuggets in the first quarter full game as well. I do heavily lean that one. Also, the Nets as well. First quarter, first half, full game. Could be a trifecta spot for the Nets. It's all about their motivation. If they want to, they can come out there and smack the Jazz. Even though it's high elevation, 5th straight road game, they haven't done well on this road trip so far. So Nets early is probably the better look. First quarter, first half. If the Jazz threes aren't going in, they'll get smoked in this one. And then Kings, if Fox plays. If Fox plays, I'd be looking towards Kings on a trifecta, not on the spread, but on their team total over. First quarter, first half, full game on their team total. You definitely need Fox in there, though, my guys. So that's it for me. Bulls plus 10.5 is the only thing that I bet. Heavily lean towards Wolves. Heavily lean towards Nuggets first quarter, full game, and also Nets first quarter, first half. I might get there with the Nets. Make sure you guys follow me on Action Network. Make sure you're following everybody, not just me. There's experts. They're even better than me. Yeah, I didn't go through Hornets, Raptors. First off, I don't care about the game. Second off, you need to see what's up with Miles Bridges. They're not letting him into Toronto right now. Regardless, I'd be looking towards Hornets on their team total under in that one. But I did forget that game. But I mean, it's not a game that I care about anyway. You see what I'm saying? Ernest say he's howling with the Wolves. They liking the Wolves in the chat. Got here late. You got on the Bulls. Kobe White has been balling. That's a fact there. Detroit money line. Stop it, bro. Stop. I mean, if they win, I'll come back and give you some props, man. But just don't go near that team until they try to show some signs of caring. They were down by 30 points to the Bucks, with 3 minutes out, 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, down 30 already. Stop it, man. Stop it. But that's it, man. That's the show, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I got a ton of shit to do today. Make sure y'all go check out the Action Network app, man. There's guys, and honestly, man, they kill it with the NFL shit, man. Props, total sides, all that, man. Really, they kill it with everything, but they got experts over there. College basketball, college football, NFL, NBA, whatever you like to bet, man. When baseball's in, they over there. I know people that bet every game baseball, you know what I'm saying, do well. So Go download the Action Network app right now, my guys. It's free. You can track your plays there. You can also see other really good experts in their plays as well, my guys. You've even seen how they've been doing lately as well, my guys. Remember, we're gonna notice the patterns. We're gonna stay calculated. We're gonna trust our instincts, trust ourselves. And we're not gonna have any regrets, my guys. Let's get this cash. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave some comments below your best bet if you like the show as well, my guys. Let's go. We out. Let's get this cash, baby. Let's go.